Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So today we are going to make some large cards. And I've already started this one. And we're going to, whoops, sorry. We're going to be using my gel matte medium. An old book page, if you have one. I have large playing cards. Now, my large cards are they're 4 inches wide and they are 5.5 inches tall. Now, if you don't have them that size, that's no biggie. Just cut you a piece of cardstock. I would probably maybe try to use some heavyweight cardstock if you have it. Now, my inside piece that I'm going to be cutting, I cut the inside here that I'm going to be cutting out. It is hold on a minute. The inside that I'm going to be cutting out is about 2.5 inches wide. I cut out this part here, right here. So that's what I'm cutting out. Now, it depends on how much I need to cut out for these birds on this one. But for the other one, it will be 2.5 inches. For this one, it may be a little bit more. It may be red to red. And for that one, it'll be just under 3 inches. So you can adjust yours however you need to. So you'll need some scissors, or you can use your craft knife. I have both of my little craft knives out. I have my ruler out that I like to use when I do that. Sometimes I do use my metal ruler when I do that. I have my cover for my mat so it doesn't get sticky. I have my piece of plastic, I don't know if you can see it here, for my windows. And who knows what else, we'll be getting out. Now, here are the other cards. Now, what you'll need to do first, before you stick down your book page, is take a piece of sandpaper and just scruff up your page, okay? Just scruff it up a little bit, or your card, and you can see the difference, I think, in the two of them. And that takes the wax coating off. See the difference? And your book page will stick better, okay? So, and this isn't quite dry yet, so I can't cut this one. So I'm going to put this one back over here to finish drying. This one I can cut, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So to do this, I take my ruler. Now, you don't have to sit and watch me do all this. I'm going to pause video to do it. But you line it up however wide you want it. Put a mat underneath you, okay, to protect your surface. Now, I have 2 mats. I have my regular mat here, plus I have another mat because I tend to push a little hard, and I don't want to go through to my main surface. And then I'll take and I'll make one cut all the way to the bottom, and then I'll come back, and I'm not moving my ruler, and I'll make another one. And because I'm so bad at this, that's why I don't move my ruler. I'll make sure if that has gone through, and as you can tell, it has not, because I didn't push hard enough. But I can see where it is, so I can put my ruler back. And I can line it up, and I can do it again. So just take your time, doing this. You don't have to be in a hurry. You don't have to. And sometimes it'll take a couple times because you've got that paper on the other side. So it might take a couple of times. All the way down. There. So now it's through. And then you're going to do the same thing across the bottom and across all 4 sides. So I'm going stop the video now, and I'm going to do this, and then I'll be right back when I've finished. So hold on. Okay, there it is. Okay, and halfway through, I realized I cut the wrong piece. Oh, well. So that's what it looks like, just having that much. So now I'm going to ink this piece up. And I'm just going to use my vintage photo. Because I want to go around the inside here. I wanted this book page to be the inside. Not the outside, but that's okay. We'll adjust. I was like, oh man, I just got the wrong one. It's like, oh well. Now this is very fragile now because you've cut out the center of this card. So you need to really be careful. See, you can see it bending. So you need to really be careful with it. So what I usually do is I'll go on and add my my clear piece to it because it needs to dry. And I'll just sit it aside. That way I know nothing is going to stick to it. Okay? Now, to do that, I'm going to go on and do that and put it aside. I know, I don't do things in the order everybody else does. I go on and I line it up. And then I take, where is it? I'll just take a highlighter, you know, like I used to highlight a book with. And I mark where I want to cut it. It's going to be on the inside, so nobody's going to see it. So let's line this up on a straight line here. I'm trying to find it here. There it is. But this gives it an opportunity to dry before I do anything else. Okay, so I know I want it there. I want it there. Now you can use any color highlighter you want, but I just happened to grab this pink one. I want it there. And I want it there. Okay. Now, highlighter will just wipe off with your fingers, so you just have to really be careful with it. Now, you can use your... Now, once I picked it up, I lost my... Okay, it's right there. Right there. Okay, so now this piece, I don't want to lose the rest of it. I'm going to go on and glue. And it's not cut perfectly straight. That's not a big deal. I'm going to go on and put this down. And then I can put it off to dry. And I don't have to worry about it catching on anything. I don't have to worry about it leaking anywhere. Okay. Oh dear. Here it is. Okay. And now with your finger, push your glue up and out. Don't push in, push up and out. When you get to the sides, push out. That'll keep it from going underneath it where you don't want it to go. Okay. And you see I did get a little bit too much over here in the corner. And I got a little bit too much in this corner. But I can clean those little corners off right there. So I'm going to put this side aside to dry while we work on the inside. Now, if we want to see how much this is going to cover of this, it covers most of it, but that I wanted it to cover. It actually covers more than I thought it would. So I could use this on top of this, but if I lined it up with the card, I'm trying to see, I need to trim it first here. Hold on, guys. Because I can't see where the card is. Now you can put anything you want on your cards. You can put, book pages. You can use fussy cuts. You can use anything you want on them to decorate them. I love doing these altered cards. Oops, sorry about that. For that very reason, because I can make them any way I want. And I have, several different packs that have different patterns on them, different colors on them. Now, I can save this music paper and this in case I want to decorate the outside. I've got numbers, I've got, that I could use. So I'm going to hold on to this for a minute. Now, let's see if I line this up. Okay, that's what it would look like. And I really like that. Let's make sure I've got it lined up. Now, I really like that. I like that a lot. Now, I do need to trim the pattern there a little bit because it's sticking out. But I like that. I think that's perfect. So, I'm going to go with that. Okay? Now, I'm going to make sure. Now, see, I do need to trim a little bit more. So, I'm going to take my little knife here. And I'm going to make sure I've got all this trimmed before I try and put it on there. Because once I get it together, I'm not going to be able to trim it. There we go. And make sure I get all this off the back. And around the corner. Okay. And then I also want to do this. But I need to be careful with this one too because it's still a little bit damp. Now I will use my corner rounder to, bring these corners back to proper round. Okay, let's get the corner rounder here. Don't worry. And let's get these rounded. Here we go. That's better. Now we've got all the extra gookie off. All right, now let's get this lined up. Okay, we need to round these equally. Okay, I think I got them all. Oh, much better. There we go, just like that. Now, I'm going to put this together. Now we need to decide how do we want to put it together after we glue it down. Do we want to add the corner studs? Do we just want to add, I have an idea. Let's get that off. Let's get our glue. Now I'm going to just put the glue around the outside edges like this. Okay, and I need to make sure it's lined up here. Let's make sure we got it lined up. Now I'm going to grab a couple of little clamps here. To hold this down. Just for a minute. Now, let's see about this. If we put, I think I might put that number on there. Okay, I need to be careful. Now, after that dries, I'm going to take my ink over it a little bit so it's not so white. Okay. And we've got this. I think I want this to go up the side here. Now these are just the little scrap pieces from the big piece that was inside. Okay. And then this little piece I want to put up here. And I should have put my mat underneath it. just like that. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to go get my brush and some water. Now let's turn this around. Oops, I just stuck my finger in it. Hold on. All right, I'm going to pull these up here. Make sure these clamps are on here because I want them to stay for a couple more minutes. Let's put these flat on the back. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Can you guys see what I'm doing here? There we go. All right, that's what I have so far. So hold on just a minute. I'm going to go put my brush in some water, and I will be right back. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's looking good. All righty. So I had to wash all that goo off my hands. Okay, so now I want to close that up too. So let's get this closed up. Come on. There we go. Now up here, I want to take my dauber. I think I can take these off. It's just going to have to finish drying, I think, on its own. But I do believe it's stuck okay. And I want to take this over top of that to kind of blend it in a little bit more so it's not so white. There, that's better. Because it was white on the brown paper. There, much better. Now, I'm going to take my knife. And the only reason I'm using my knife is because the blade is so fine. So I can cut these off of the edge and actually get to them a little bit better. Okay. There we go. Now, I don't think there's any more. Let's wipe off the back of this. It got sticky. Okay. Now, if you want to decorate the back of your cards, you can. I don't usually because I like knowing that they're cards. So now this one is finished. I would keep this one like it is. Now the second one, I didn't add book page to, which is surprising because I thought I did. I used both of them over there. Lori, you're a ding-dong. So I would do the same thing on this one. I would glue a book page to it. Let's do that. I used both cards that had book pages on them. Okay, let me grab my book. And it can be anything. It can be, you know what? Let's not use a book page. Let's use cardstock. Or let's do one that goes this way. And because we're going to cut one of them, let's see, which one did I, well, I used both of the same ones. Okay, now, I'm going to give you fair warning. I'm going to use my block, okay, my sanding block. When I get started, if you don't want to hear this, turn down the volume, okay? I'm going to give you fair warning here in just a minute. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Turn down the volume. All done. Okay, some people, that makes them crazy. Other people, they don't care. So after you do it, make sure you wipe the card off, okay? Got to make sure you wipe off the card. So this is going to be the card that gets covered, okay? It's going to go like this. So this is the one. I need to mark it. That I actually am going to cut out. This is the one I want to cover. So I want to cover it because I want it to go like this. Now, is that the way that picture goes? Now, that's from a magazine. How about some cardstock? Let's see, what cardstock do we have up here? I have all kinds of cardstock sitting up here, just bits and pieces. And how about, oh, maybe, how about a piece of this? How about a piece of this? This isn't really cardstock, it's just a piece of paper out of a book. How about, yeah, because then we can add a butterfly to it. So let's see. I like this piece. I like with the tall flowers. So let's see. Maybe let's see about covering over here and see if we can get some of the smaller ones and some of the taller ones. Let's see about doing that. Now, when I covered these, I just use a glue stick. I just use my glue stick. It just makes it easier to position because then I can, you know what? I need to be using this, don't I? I need to use this. And I always glue down my backgrounds first. Gives them a couple minutes to dry. But what I was saying about my glue stick is I use my glue stick because I can manipulate my background. If I don't get it exactly where I want it, I have a minute or so, or a second, I guess, to scooch it where I want it to be. Where if I'm using my other, if it's not there, it's not there. So I think I want this. Now, you don't need to go all the way to the very edge because your card is going to cover it. So as long as you're covering this red in about halfway past it, you're good. Okay. So I'm going to cut this out. And then I'm just going to sit it aside and let it dry. And I'm going to do the same thing as I did before. I'm going to cut out the center. I'm going to put this over here. That'll go in my scraps. I'm going to do the same thing as I did before. I'm going to cut out the center of my card. And since you have seen how I do it, I'm just going to pause the video once again while I do it and while this dries, okay? Because you don't need to see me cut out another card. Okay, so I will be right back while I cut out this. You know what? Before I do that, I'm going to go on and I'm going to ink this up. Actually, I'll ink it while I'm paused. No sense you watching me do that either. So I'm going to cut this out, except for this one, I'm going to cut it out around that broad red line. Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit bigger, so I can take in a little bit more of the picture since we're going to put a butterfly on there. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to use the same knife and the same ruler. So I'll be right back. Okay, that's what it looks like with the red gone. Now, as you can see, I didn't quite get it all over there. I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. It doesn't matter. Now, if you want to cover this, you can do that. Now, you can do that before or after you cut it out. So if you wanted to do it after, what you could do is, you know, like we do them when we do envelopes. You could do it that way, or you could just lay it down on a piece of paper, and you could do it that way, and then slice your corners, fold it around, and that way you've got your corners covered. Totally and completely up to you, but I'm going to do it so that my numbers show here on this side, and I'm going to do some inking here, just like I did the last time. And I do not really like this bright white at all. So I am going to try to do something about that. To get rid of some of that, because that I don't like. Yeah, here it is. So what I might do here, now this is very fragile since you've just cut away the majority of the card. And I haven't added any oxide to this at all. I'm just using up whatever is on here. And I'm holding the card down with my hand as I do this. And I'm just trying to give it a little more character. Now, I am going to take my book. And I'm just going to maybe tear a page out that's got... Now, this one's got... this page here has a couple of different texts on it. It's got the main text and then a smaller text. So... I'm maybe going to pull that. I'm going to pull out my drawer here that has... That one might be a little bit too big. Let's see, that's got some green here. Maybe I can pull it out. Make this a little bit smaller. Maybe put that on there. Now let's pull out some fabric. These are just little tiny pieces of fabric and lace. Here's a little piece of green. Oh, here's a little bumblebee. Maybe we can pull this little bumblebee out. See if we can do something with him. Now, I just stamped him onto a piece of fabric scrap that I had. That's all I did with him. I just took my little tiny bumblebee scrap and just stamped him on there. This is just a piece of sari silk that I pulled off of something. We're going to see, maybe. So I'm just pulling out some little scraps, little teeny tiny scraps of things that are sitting here. That might decorate the front of this. Come on, drawer. I know you don't like to go in crooked. And you don't like to go in with the paper towel. Sorry. Oh, and you don't like to go in backwards. Well, that makes sense. Okay. And this is my little Bipply Bop drawer that I always have. So you never know what's in there. Alrighty. So I think I'm going to use a little bit of this book page here to decorate the front of this. And here's the little tiny numbers that we might use. So I'm just pulling these words off here that say singing aimlessly. I think I want those. And I have some little butterflies here that I want to use. Oops. You know what? I'm gonna put our little transparency back in the box here so I don't lose it. And I'm going to pull out the little butterflies. They're part of my Field Notes collection. Let's see here. Might even be something in there that we like. Now these aren't Field Notes. These are just clear butterflies, but I don't think I want a blue one. What color is this one? I don't think that one. I don't think I want that one. I think that one's too big. I think I want something smaller. Here it is. There's a little yellow one. I don't know if I want yellow. See, here's what yellow looks like on it. I think yellow just doesn't work on that, because there's only a little tiny bit of yellow. It's more purples and greens. Oh, now there's a little bit of the... Now that one might work. Put it right there to pick up the teal that's in the background. I do like the teal there that's in the background. Ah, that one. Maybe that one. All right, let's see how that looks with... Now I do like that, because that one, except I think it might need to be up here, like that. And these little things here, I think I'm just going to do so that they, you know, wrap around the edges. Okay. All right. Let's go on and put him down. That way he'll be dry when we put the... Oh, you know what we need to do? Because he's got all these little white edges. We don't want all these little white edges hanging around. Okay. Now, let's stick him up here. Now, I think I'm going to use this. Since this is old book page. Okay. Now, here on the back, I'm taking it and I'm just wrapping it around the back. And then I'm wrapping it around the side, like that. If I have to, I'll just cut that piece off right there. Not a big to-do. Or I can just put a little drop of glue on it. Okay. Now this... down here, and I think down here I'm going to add probably another butterfly or something like that, maybe a little bit bigger, or I don't know, we'll see after we start decorating. Okay, I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to poke the edges around like that. Now I'm going to add on the inside. I'm going to get out I'm going to get this piece, and I'm going to do the same thing for it as I did the other one. Oh, that piece is too small. Except for this, because I've got that paper there, I want to make sure I cover some more of it. So let me grab something that I can see a little bit better. Okay, so I'm doing this pretty much the same as I did before, except this piece is going to be a little bit bigger. Oh, I don't want it there. I want it there. I want it there. And I want it about there. Okay, and I'm going to use my paper cutter to cut this piece because I need it to be straight. Well, we know how well I cut with my paper cutter. Okay, and if you know how I'm going to apply this, you can, just fast forward the video. You don't have to watch me do this. Fast forward the video until you see me get to the part that you want. You don't have to watch me do this all over again. Okay, now this is going back in the box because this is being done for beginners that don't know how to do it, and I want to make sure that they do. So, okay. All right, now again, I'm going to glue on the back. Except this time it's going to be a little further out. Whoops, I didn't even get the glue under the top, did I? All right, let's wipe this. I got stuff up there I didn't need. Okay, here we go. It goes that way. Now, I did get glue in the middle because I had it on my hands, so I'm just going to have to clean this off real quick before my glue dries. Where is it? Okay, I got it on the front. Let's put it right there so I can see it. Come on, Lori. Okay. Now let's see how this looks on our page. There we go. Now, see, I like that better already. Especially with the little butterfly up there. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Okay, so let's see here. Now, I think maybe let's try this here. What our little maybe like that. I don't know. I don't know. I do like that number on the side. I do like the number on the side. But I'm not sure about the rest of it. Come on. So let's glue it together after we get this number on there. Come on. Really? Oh, for goodness sakes. There we go. Silly thing. Okay, now let's glue this together. All right, let's grab our clamps, just like we did before. Oops. Okay, so down here is where the paper is going to need to be trimmed, but I'm going to let it dry before I try trimming anything. Otherwise, it's going to tear. Yeah, I'm just going to, well, maybe I can do it. Maybe I can do it with scissors. There, that's better. That's better. All right, let's put a bit up here. Okay, now I'm going to let this one dry. And let's put this stuff away while we let that sit for a minute. All Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much. This was so much fun today. I love creating these little things. I can just get lost, you know, sitting here playing with these little things. You know, what am I going to do? What am I going to add? What am I not going to add? Do I like it? Do I don't like it? You know, I just really enjoy it. So I hope you guys take the time to try and make some. If you have some cards, these can be made in any size. If you don't have cards, just cut some cardstock, and you can measure, like I showed you to measure for the sizes, and then you can cut them out and you can decorate them however you choose. These are going to go, at least, I think both of them are probably going to go in our painted journal. So we need one more thing to go in our painted journal, and one more large thing to go in our painted journal in one of those pockets. So we're going to have to figure out something else to go in our painted journal pocket. And I haven't quite decided what. We need something long. So one of these is going to go in a pocket, but I think the other one might be too short. I don't want too many of them. So maybe we'll make a long tag for that journal to put in there, because I think that would work. So I hope you guys take the time and make some. And if you do, let me know how you like it. And if you have any questions at all about what we did or how we did it, I'm trying to make sure everything's down so we can take our clamps off. How we did it, products that I used, where I got them, anything. Please feel free to let me know. I will gladly help you or answer your questions. Now, I want to go back over that. That's still a little, nope, that's dried good enough. Let's go over that a little bit. I will gladly answer your questions and help you in any way that I can. Now, let's go back over these edges. Now, both of them, they look very, very different. And I'm going to show you here after I get this on the edges here. Made by the same person, but they look totally, totally different. There we go. So we have two of them done. And I think I'm going to go and eat some lunch and maybe get some laundry done. Maybe not. So there we go. Let me get stuff out of your way so you can see better. How's that? So same person, two totally different looks, just by changing up the paper a little bit. So I hope you guys take the time to make one, and you come back and join me on another day when we create some more fun things for the Ladybug Journal journals. And until I see you again in our next video, ta-ta for now.